can. And now, allow me to introduce our next guest. Drum roll, please. Get him in here, all right? It is my delight to welcome Kyle Machlis, aka better known as, and perhaps only known as, qdot. A mild-mannered engineer by day, qdot spends his nights as the critical presence behind projects like buttplug.io, an open-source standard and software project for controlling intimate hardware like sex toys, fucking machines, and more. Working at the intersection of haptics, interactivity, pleasure, and accessibility, qdot is out here making sure everything they build works and that everything he builds works for everyone. qdot, welcome. How are you doing? We got audio? Boop, boop.
Hello.
Hey. Hello.
Hello?
Hey, there you go. All right,
okay.
Now it's working.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, hi. It is certainly an entrance to be read in after people have been smashing balls. But here I am.
Here you are.
Here we go. Okay.
So my understanding is when I first approached you, you know, you might have, I think you had like maybe hoped to choose the game Rez, but that had already been claimed by our 9 p.m. slot, Colleen Macklin, who will be doing a Rez rave at 9 p.m., folks. You should definitely stick around for that. And so as an alternative, you settled on Cubivore Survival of the Fittest, which is a game that I did not even know existed. Can you tell us a little bit about this choice?
Oh no, I can tell you a lot about this choice. I'm going to spend the next hour telling you about this choice. Because
green button, red button, green button, red button.
Oh yeah. No, this has been an adventure I didn't plan on either. Like, Cubivore has been very formative to my experience as a cube, which I will go through to here. So we're going to go through the history of how I found it, some discussion of how the game was made, and looking at it not only as a game, but as a design object, which it also is. Which is a little freaky. I wasn't aware of that either. But so we got a lot to cover in the next 60 minutes.
Then I'm gonna get out of your way real fast after one announcement. So I just want to rep. We're doing raffle prizes every hour. For this hour, we've got a copy of Seeing Red, Nintendo's Virtual Boy, by Jose Segal and Benj Edwards. This is courtesy MIT Press. All donations over $20 are automatically entered into a raffle for this book. If you want more details, there's links to the raffle rules on our schedule. And because I haven't mentioned it in a minute, we also have a grand prize for folks who've donated over $100 all day. This is a copy of Stu Horvath's lush coffee table book, Monsters, Aliens, and Holes in the Ground, a guide to tabletop role-playing games from D&D to Mothership. So this retails for $125. It's quite a doorstop. And so this is our grand prize. And with that, that's all I wanted to say. I'm going to leave it to you, qdot.
Okay, here we first off, hi. I'm Oh, that was okay. There we go. Okay. Hi. Yeah. I am qdot. Most of you probably know me from some of my other open source projects, things like that. So we'll go and talk about those real quick. So I run a company called Non-Polynomial. And we put out this little project called buttplug.io, which Lane talked about. So what I'm kind of known for is creating intimate interfaces to games. So basically doing things like taking Rumble and recontextualizing it for what we call intimate toys or sex toys or things like that. And to spruce up the stream a little bit, make things a little bit more spicy, we're going to go NPR styling on this. For the next hour, Non-Polynomial will be matching all donations up to $500. If you want to throw some cash here, we'll be throwing some more cash on top of it. So money. Donate. Come on. Let's go. Let's do this. Let's donate. Let's look at the So, okay. So anyways, people are probably thinking like, oh yeah, he's going to talk about sex toys and the vibrations and whatnot. Except that I was probably going to, if I did that, I'd talk about Res, because Res is like the game that you do that with. Like, I've actually already made like a 45-minute video where I made the old trans vibrator work with the new Res and all. But then Lane was like, no, someone else is already doing it. And they're going to do it cooler than you could have ever done it. And I was like, you know what? That's awesome. And that is why you should donate to ROMchip, because they do awesome things like really cool Res streams in a couple of hours. So anyways, so couldn't do Res. That's fine. And then I was like, hey, maybe I'll talk about like the history of games that we have modded for butt plug, like Rocket League, and we're known for Ultra Kill. And there was this like crazy little dual stick game called Crimson Land that I use a lot to test. And Lane was like, yeah, but what about a game that's really important to you? What about like something that really was about your development, or any of those games that I'm like, not really. I'm gonna need to like kind of figure something else out there. And so I kind of had to think deep, think way back. And the thing is, I mean, yes, like as you can see, I am a fox here. I am a fox in real life, but like video games are all about aspiration and all about embodiment. And what I've really always wanted to be is a cube. You can even see it like if I get really, really close to my camera here, you can see like there's a cube on my collar right there. So I have always wanted to be a cube, and like I use video games to be able to have that aspirational embodiment. Like for instance, this is a logo that I made for myself back in like 2003 that I still use. And like when I started making that, I realized, okay, I could actually like kind of also texture a cube with that. And it kind of looks interesting, looks kind of dicey and all. And then this whole Second Life thing came along, and suddenly I became my logo as a cube. And that was super cool. And I spent years in Second Life being a cube that like floated around. Didn't always have like the fursuit on and stuff, but it worked well enough. And then I actually worked on Second Life at Linden Lab for a couple of years. And while I was there, I was Cube Linden. And so my avatar there was many different types of cubes. This is the main one I used, where I was a Jello cube. So I would like fly around, and I was both the cube and the table and the seats. I was actually just the cube on the table, but my whole app was the whole thing. And so I would just like fly around as this diner table with some cube on it, and people could like sit on the stools and stuff. It was really cool. So I've really enjoyed kind of figuring out how to embody cubes both in video games and in real life. So I've actually tried to start the Shapey fandom. We did this by going to furry cons, but instead of, just being my normal fox self or something like that, I went as a piece of geometry. So I went as a cube to further confusion, and you can now see, if you can read teeny tiny text on the stream, that I actually even got a call out in the WikiFur page about fursuit parades, as the FC 2008 figure is disputed, as the only contiguous video footage shows 354 fursuits, also counting a guy with no costume except for a silver box on his head. That was me. Oh yeah. So yeah, I have a big investment in cube life. And so when we think about games that really involve cubes, what are we thinking about here? So of course you've got your games like Intelligent Cube for the PS1. Or the Devil Dice in the US, or the Chi series, Devil Dice and Bombastic in the US, or the Chi series, which came out for the PlayStation 1, PlayStation 2, and PSP. Both of these games, love them to death. If I actually played them on stream, it would be the most boring stream ever, because I would forget to talk or interact or anything else, because my brain is just like, puzzle game. So I had to choose something else. I had to choose something more interesting. And so I really wanted to choose this one. But the problem is this game's a little too explicit, so I can really only show you the trailer for it.
It's coming. A game unlike anything you've ever seen. Prepare yourself for Cube. In development for over a decade, Cube will take you to a whole new dimension of computer games. Cube. Featuring the latest in 3D pictures and the newest technologies that make calculators look like the cotton gin. Cube. Pick up your control switch and enter another world. You are now Cube, defender of the polyverse. Collect the diamonds and reach the goal. Every goal leads to a new color level. Blue, green, orange. The fun cannot be halted. Cube. But be careful. You will face many obstructions in your path. It's up to you to guide Cube around the things that Cube can't go through. Cube. And just maybe, if you're brave enough and enough of a game master, you will reach level red, where you will face the dreaded cone. Cube, coming to your neighborhood dimension soon. Cube. Only available on the Monotech Power Game Unit. Monotech Game Future.
So yeah, unfortunately, Twitch has some rules about exactly how many and what types of cubes you can stream. So I unfortunately could not show this game on the stream today. It would have been great. But anyway, so I had to kind of sit there and think, okay, what is the game that is important to me? What is the game that I would describe like Zizek describes Leibach playing in North Korea? What is the game that to me is the preeminent piece of game art in the 21st century? And that is where we get Cubivore. So without further ado, I would like to present to you Cubivore. Okay, so Cubivore is a game that came out for originally the Nintendo 64 and then the GameCube in 2002-2003 timeframe, made by a company named Saru Brunei. I'll be going a little bit more into the history on this later. Right now, what we're going to do is just kind of go through and see what is this game? What is qdot subjecting us to here? And right now, qdot is subjecting us to his controller not working. So just a second. We are going to pause this, and I'm going to take a look at my controls real quick. Yeah, DualSense. Okay. Oh, it was probably not. Okay. This is the fun of trying to do this live. Okay. There we go. Okay, helps Fav the window in focus. Okay, and remember, if you want to support a games journal where every contributor talks about their game, like Zizek talks about Leibach playing in North Korea, remember, donate to ROMchip. Don't donate blood. Oh God. Donate money. I made this little like donation thing to show, and it just pulls random donation gifts. And so donate money. I don't think Lane needs your blood. I don't know. Maybe they do. I don't like. I am not matching blood donations. Anyways. Okay. Let's play. Okay. And one of the things I will say here too, definitely pay attention to the music here because it's kind of amazing. Like this sounds like a serial 12-tone serial row situation here in a GameCube game. This actually came out on the GameCube. So we'll start a new game. I mean, and you gotta love any game where the cursor quacks when you move it. And yes, if you do want to sell plasma or blood and then give that money to ROMchip, please do it. But anyways, yeah, okay, so I will go ahead and narrate here too. I feel so nice, so warm. I remember in great detail a past I neither saw nor heard. Once upon a time, the world was full of wilderness. And dazzling, colorful beasts thundered across its untamed plains. Until one day, the colorless beasts arrived and began to devour the wilderness. Soon, the land was no longer wild. The colorless ones kept the wild in their ashen bodies until it formed raw meat, giving them great power. Among them was a beast that boasted 6 pieces of raw meat. This beast, known as Killer Cubivore, became king of the entire world and set out to consume all of its wilderness. If nothing is done, the wilderness will disappear and the world will wither and fade. I want to live. That was the first thought I ever had. I want to be alive. Ah, I am born. I am alive. I am Piggy qdot. I come into this world a beast, and as a beast, I shall eat and become king of all cubivores. Okay, we are in the game. Yeah, you grow real quick. And so this is the first level. We'll just be going through, and thank you for all of the donations so far. Oh, got some snack grass. I found some snack grass. It's got a delicious tint to it. I feel like I have more energy now. Not unlike drinking balls, apparently. So the one horrible part about this game is the camera is not fluid. You actually have to move an analog stick like once every time, which is why that's happening. It's kind of a nightmare, but this is also a camera system from the GameCube in 2002. What do you expect? Okay. So... Oh! Is that a bug? Wanna eat, wanna eat, wanna eat, wanna eat, wanna eat, wanna eat. Okay, so to eat things, you hold down the L button and then you hit A and you pounce it. And there you go. Okay, we have now eaten a bug. We are on our way to consuming the world. One weird flappy thing at a time. Okay. Now, so the thing is, you'll see up there, there's a stomach rating. That's basically your hit points. Right now, we've got 8 out of 8 stomach, so we don't really need to be eating a whole bunch right now. Okay, and here we come toward a training area. It's a wooden horse. Beef up my body and attack level. Move up to the white line. Okay. Move up and then lock on. And now press A while holding L. Okay, yeah. And each time we do this, we get a horn point. Okay. So we have now upped ourselves 5 horn points. This training turf is toast. A love bit. Tastes like love to me. And there's a few love bits that we'll get here. Collect 100 love bits and the females will just adore me. Oh, okay. Well, this is, I guess, combination eating sim and dating sim. Yeah, don't worry. I have a whole. The chat is wondering what the development context of this game is. It is weirder than you will ever imagine. Okay, approach the toadstools. We're doing another. Okay, hold the control stick down. So this is how you rip meat off of other cubivores. If they have little flappy bits on them, you grab the flappy bit and then you pounce that, and then you rip it off. And the faster you're unfortunately held up while you do that, you can be attacked. But that's why you want to get tongue points. You can rip them off faster. So your attack points, your horn points. Increase your attack, which knocks things out quicker, and then your tongue points allows you to rip meat off of them quicker. Okay, and we keep coming along with the points here. Oh! Uh-oh! It's got some color to its body. Color meat? This color beast is a tire jack. Okay, let's go kill it. It's out there doing nothing. We're gonna fuck it up. Okay, that's it. It's dead. And now, whoop. Okay, so this is a kind of a bug in this game where if you kill anything near a wall, it sucks. It just. Okay, so it's running away from me now, and now I can rip its meat off. I've changed into yellow. I mutated. I ate some color meat. Did I get any stronger? And now I've turned into a tire jack pale mutation. Whoa, a different color this time. And a different shape as well. Okay, so there, quick kill. And now I can rip its meat off. Hold the control stick down, okay? Like, the game is so worried about you. It's great. Okay, I ate some color meat. I feel a bit more buff. So you get experience as you eat color meats. And you want to up the amount of mutations you get. Because your mutations mean that you are king over that type of mutation. And the goal of the game is to become king of all mutations. I hope that made some sort of sense, but it probably didn't. And you know who else loves color meat? The writers at ROMchip Journal. So if you would like to support people who enjoy color meat, don't donate blood, but please donate to ROMchip Journal today. So anyways, let's make it through this level so I can actually talk more. Oh god. Okay. to do that, I lose focus on the game. And here we go. Okay, so now I can shift it. One of the best parts about this is like, okay, I'll come over here and get this, but ew, what is that smell? What did I just do? Yeah, you can poop. If you want to rid yourself of your current color, you can make do with the Z button. Okay, so moving is a little bit faster if you just jump, and I need to get through this. Okay, here's the end of the level. It's a doorway to the next land. Oh! That baby's got some dark color meat. It must be strong. Oh, okay, well. Oh, well, yeah, okay, so this got 5 strength, and you can really only hit for 1 right now. Combat, honestly, is just kind of button smashy. Oh, and I got hit for 1, but now I can rip its dark color meat off. I changed into yellow. My body got some dark meat to it. I feel somewhat stronger. A rare species. Okay, so now as you get more limbs, you can start getting color combinations and everything too. And that actually changes. So that changes how you move around the terrain. Like this game came out kind of in the era of the whole sort of like early genetic algorithm locomotion stuff being a thing. And by the way, this is a secret. Okay, so now we can jump out of the level and go on to the next level. So yes, this is Cubivore. I conquered the Paw Dunes. Piggy qdot mutated 5 times. Okay, so this shows you how many mutations you've stacked up so far per level, and what each of their attributes are, because you are basically like filling out something like a fighting game gauge of attributes for yourself. Piggy qdot 5 mutations. I will go ahead and save. Woo, I'm plumb tuckered out. What with being born and pigging out, it was a killer schedule for my first day. Totally oinked out. Zoinked out? Ah, zonked out. Sorry, I haven't quite mastered the art of language yet. Anywho, glad to be born and all, but to be totally honest, I didn't have a clue what I was doing. Just vague ideas. But if I were to close my eyes and search the back of my bacon brain, I can see a world teeming with wilderness. I want to bring this color back to the world. Eating the color meat makes my body take on many shapes. It's the vitamin D, or perhaps the protein, or perhaps the savory taste. Piggy qdot. Okay, so before we head on out to the next level here, let's take a minute to talk about. Oh, there we go. Okay, sorry, dropped some stuff. To talk about why the hell I'm playing this game. So yeah, Cubivore, it's a weird one, huh? And we haven't even gotten to like the really crazy stuff yet. So I mean, when we talk about representations of cubes in games, everyone, when I'm like, well, I'm a cube, like, are you a gelatinous cube? Like, no. But it's really interesting that for some reason, when we think about cubes in games, a lot of times they are eating things. like Cubivore and like Gelatinous Cube, which is probably the most well-known cube in a game. I mean, you could say that crates are cubes too, but they're more inanimate. And yes, I have a tail. uh, Sorry, there was some talk in chat about that. There's also the companion cube from Portal. Yes, thank you for adding that. Yeah, so I mean, we've talked about like there's lots of cubes in games. What about eating things in games? And one of the resources that I love to talk about in terms of eating things in games is the Vor in video games list. I have been talking about this thing for like almost 20 years now, because you'll notice if you like really scrunch up your eyes and look, the last time this page was updated was November 8th, 2006. But this is a web page that lists every video game where you can eat something, be eaten, or watch something be eaten. That's amazing. Like that's that kind of like folksonomy, which is a word we were using a lot in 2006. Is really cool to see people classifying that. And one of the coolest parts about this is Cubivore is on there because Cubivore came out in 2003. So their description of Cubivore, and I'll read it to you because it's probably impossible to read on the stream, is bizarre game where you control a cube. Yeah, I chose the game that the Vorin video games list calls bizarre. In a world where all the inhabitants are, well, cubes. You have to eat others to evolve into more powerful forms. While the graphics are nothing fabulous, the details on hunting, chomping, etc. are quite good. This game is definitely worth a look if you can find it. And so, yeah, they knew about this game. And the coolest part about this, that I hadn't checked for this page in years. It's been a while since I've talked about this at like a game conference or something. So I went back to put this presentation to check this out. And there's this forum link here. Like if you see like it says like, okay, go to on the page, it says go to our discussion thread if you'd like to add games. And I went to the discussion thread thinking, oh, it's going to die. No, it goes to a forum. It goes to a forum that's still up, where that thread started in August of 2006, and the last post is from last Wednesday. This is a 19-year, 122-page thread of Vor games. So don't say communities do not keep their shit together when it comes to game history. When we talk about preserving game history, this is what we are talking about. And if you like preserving game history, like these people like preserving game history, then God, why does it always want to donate blood? No, donate money. Donate money to ROMchip, especially because I'm still matching it. If you like eating things, donate to ROMchip. Okay. Come on. There we go. Okay. So when we talk about like what I do though, in terms of like games and reactions and whatnot, like this is a big deal for what I do with Buttplug. I mean, the thing about Buttplug is like we basically make a library where it makes it really easy for developers for their software to support sex toys of different kinds. But the thing is, it's like, who really has sex these days? Like, no one's doing that anymore. So really the fun part about writing Buttplug, and the part that I do it for, is that we can add sex context to games, or weird context to games, that wouldn't normally be there. And it kind of turns the game on its ear. It's sort of like, think of it like a software sort of like Plunderphonics or ad busting or something like that. It just has vibrators in it or something. And so we've added like mods for everything from like, I mean, Ultra Kill is the one that like a lot of people know, but I mean, we have mods for like Stardew Valley. We have mods for Balatro. Like, and the thing is that always, the question we always get when that happens is, but why? Why would you do that? And really what I search for in games is like, what are the games that I can't do that with? Like, what is a game where it's like, if I added butt plugs to that game, people are going to be like, No, it was weird before you started. You made it like slightly more weird, but no, this is this game was so weird up front that you could not have possibly made it any weirder. And that's kind of where Cubivore comes in. I mean, like when I look at it as a game, it was just like, how did this even happen? This got released on the GameCube, and like it's something like there was some way that Nintendo put this out. How did that happen? Because like if you try to explain to someone, it's like, okay, so think like Flatland meets like a nature documentary, but then like they decided to let John Waters direct it. I don't know. I mean, like it's just it doesn't make sense. It's so weird. I mean, they even put it on the front of the goddamn US release of the box. One of the most bizarre video games ever created. Yeah, it is. So anyways, let's play more of it. Okay. And no, I didn't pause it. Okay, I just need to transitioning very slowly because I have to put my hands down so I can pick up my controller. Okay, so I now have 20 minutes to get through, or I have 10 minutes to get through as much of the game as possible so I can still talk about the history. Where did you go? Dolphin screen. There we go. Okay. Yeah. Awesome. Okay. Level 2. Okay. So we are now in level 2. We're already up. I mean, I can get love bits, but I'm going to be kind of speed running this just to show people what's going on as much as possible. Okay, jeepers! It's as white as snow! This is a world without wilderness. I cannot enter the white terrain. Okay, so to enter the white terrain, you need to find a Wildebug. It's got the mark of wilderness on it. Okay, so eat a Wildebug, and that opens up the level for you. Wilderness has returned to the terrain. Eating Wildebugs will bring wilderness back to the barren land. Okay. And then this is basically like a potion. So the Rejuvenator, you can like pause at any time and give yourself back your stomach points. Okay. Okay, come on, let's do this. We got places to be. We got history to talk about. There's no way I'm getting 100 love bits. Ah, got a horn point. Got a horn bit. I gained some horn points. Get enough and my attack level will increase. And I should say, oh, a grass box. Hold down L and hit A to pounce. Yep, there we go. And we got a Seed of Fright. Press Y to frighten the fur off other beasts. Plus, you can adjust the camera angle. Want to see your surroundings? Change the view with the C stick, which if I hadn't have already learned to do that, I'd already be dead. So, weird time to put that little bit of information in, but here we are. Oh, and yep, and remember, about like a little over 15 minutes left for matching donations. So get that money in so you can cost me money. Oh, I forgot to read the thing. I was busy pitching. Oh, 2 pieces of meat. A 2-limb beast. Looks a bit tougher than a 1-limb. So when you get, that means that they are aiming at you when you get that over your head. And you either need to move very quickly or just avoid entirely. I changed into blue. I mutated. Okay. So, and it's now lying in a pool of its own blood. Okay, so I need to find the other Wildebugs up here in order to open up the end of the level. Oh, Horn Point. Which we need those right now. Okay, there's a Wildebug. Oh, there we go. Nope. Oh, this camera! There we go. Okay, so we are almost to the end of the level. Wow, help drain qdot's wallet in the chat. Okay, we're doing Cubivore Findom. Oh, it's the Cub Scout beast, and he's got a piece of raw meat. And I need to hit Z real quick and refill because this is actually kind of a hard battle. Because the beasts always have minions. So, yeah, this is basically the last boss of the level. Nope, go! Oh, just missed that there. Okay. So we want to take out the beast as soon as possible and grab the raw meat, and then we can take out its minion also. Got raw paw. Hell yeah. Let's go. Can I get an F in the chat for the first raw meat? Now that I've got raw meat, I can mate. I can mate. I have obtained raw paw. With the raw paw's power, I can dash using R. It's actually really helpful. It makes moving so much easier. The door is all colorful now. I can go to the next place in the wilderness. Come on, let's check out the next area. Okay, so I could technically kill that other thing, but I'm just going to run because we don't have a lot of time left, and I want to show the beginning of the next level and then talk about its history a bit because I've got 13 minutes. I'm fine. Biggie qdot mutated 6 times, and that's my mutation and all of my stats. Biggie qdot 6 mutations. Save your progress. Yes. Okay. The raw paw, man, caviar of the wild, I tell you. It's hard to keep the old mandibles from just dropping open. Just one bite of the stuff and my belly starts a-dancing. I get this incredible urge to go find some females and to belly dance with them. Now that I've got a raw paw, I can sprint like a racehorse. Why didn't I make Dave narrate this for me? By the way, I passed wind of good information. Passed wind? Caught wind? Anyways, I got a fat tip. Word on the street is, in the next level, I can meet a female or something like that. Just thinking about it gives me butterflies in my stomach. Is this love? Is this love that I'm feeling? Although my poor little tummy wants it to eat something yummy, it's tied up in knots because I've got the hots with a female I want to get chummy. What have I done? What have I done here? Okay, let's go ahead and start the next level because remember I said this game got weird? It's the mating ground. Once I've got some raw meat, I can mate with females. After I mate, my kids have a new limb. The more mutations I undergo, the more chicks dig me. Va va voom. The music is so good. Like, it's freaky how good the music is. Mating ground. Piggy qdot is king of 6 cubivores and attracts 2 females. Chat, do we want to mate? I'm waiting. Okay, green. We have chosen green, which I am choosing to. Okay, here we go. Well, there it goes. This is some Leisure Suit Larry ass shit happening here on these cubes. I mated with 2 females. A child is born. Oh, Piggy qdot the second has been born. I'm a 2-limbed beast now. And furthermore, I can pounce from far away. Lock on to distant enemies with L, then pounce from afar. Save my progress. And now you arise from your corpse. So this is basically the game. Like, the levels progress like this. You want to build up your bestiary to get basically all of these mutations. You can see your status here, as well as your abilities and what you've grown through. But yeah, now that you've got an idea of what the game looks like and what it is, let's talk about how the hell this happened. So let me go ahead and put this down and pause that and go back to. Okay, so what the hell happened here? Well, in 1996, there was a company that came to being called Marigold. Marigold, and by the way, keep donating. Are we up to 500 yet? Like, I haven't actually been able to watch because I've been so busy playing this weird game while begging for money. And you know who likes weird games? ROMchip, which is why you should donate to them. Okay, so anyways, Marigold. What is Marigold? Marigold was a company that was made to create third-party games for the N64 because they basically think of it like we would an incubator these days. But what does Marigold mean? Well, of course, it's Nintendo. Nintendo actually owned 40% of Marigold. So it was owned 40% by Nintendo and 60% by Recruit Media, which was a large media conglomerate. Marigold came together in their terms of Mario and Seagull. Seagull was the Recruit. We passed 500. Okay, well, if someone makes it 600, I can match for 600. So let's do that. Anyways, so Seagull was the mascot of Recruit. I couldn't actually find that, so you get whatever the hell this is. But Mario. So yeah, it's Mario and Ghoul. Yes, we actually have the fishbowl of video games. That's really how this happened. So Marigold ended up being an incubator for about 5 different companies, including putting out games like Custom Robo, Dujin the Giant, there's a game called Noise, I think, and Cubivore was one of them too. Now, what they were trying to do in Japan in the late 1990s, there was this thing called they actually did Dujin. So there was a floppy disk add-on for the N64 called the DD64, and Shigeru Miyamoto actually did some art games for it, and they were trying to get more creative games there. Cubivore was originally supposed to be on that platform, and then they ended up taking a while to develop it, and there was an N64 version of Cubivore that did come out. But yeah, so the whole idea though was like they were just supposed to find creative people to make creative games. So what creative person did Cubivore come out of? Well, that would be this guy right here, Gento Matsumoto. Gento Matsumoto is a very, very famous designer in Japan. The thing is, he is a type and print designer. He mostly does books. So he was very well known for, he did some paper sculpture stuff that was very geometric, similar to, and that is the only photo I could find of him. If you search his name, this is about the only photo of him you can find. It's kind of wild. Yeah, he did. He created like all of these sculptures and DIY press things, and was winning all sorts of awards in the mid '90s in Japan. And Nintendo came to him and was like, "Make a game for us," and that is where Cubivore came from. So the interesting part of it is like he'd already done a couple of video games. So he did a game called Pop-Up Computer, which was a CD-ROM game, an early CD-ROM game, like 94, I think. That was mostly just interactive pop-up books for kids on a computer, as well as this other game, Jungle Park, which you'll notice is for the Pippin. For those of you not familiar, the Pippin was Apple's console that was made by Bandai. So that's a rare little piece of hardware there. Yeah, so these were mostly kind of your normal mid-90s. We can put a bunch of stuff on a CD-ROM, so let's do it. And there's a vague bit of interactivity there. But Cubivore obviously became far more involved. For the N64 version, it did actually come out as Dojobun Bansho in Japan. So there is an N64 cart. The game was pretty much the same though. Like there were little bits of differences in the menus and things like that, and it didn't have the logo yet, but it was still basically the same game. Now, Cubivore really only came out under the Marigold and Sarubrunai names in Japan. Nintendo decided not to actually port it to the US. We got it in the US thanks to Atlas, everyone's favorite. Why the hell did you bring that over here? But thank you for doing it, company. So they are the ones that actually, Intelligent Systems ported it from the N64 to the GameCube, and then Atlas did the localization and publishing in the US, which is how we actually got a version of the game. And then another neat little fact here is the music. I kept talking about the music, and the reason I kept talking about the music is because it was done by Hajime Tachibana. Hajime Tachibana was the guitarist for the Plastics, which was a new wave group out of the late 1970s and early 1980s. They were David Byrne was really big fans of them, as was Devo, the B-52s. They only put out 2 or 3 albums and then disappeared. But that is where the music from this game came from. So that's the thing. It's like this game seems weird as hell, but it is actually a design object because it was created by a designer under his aesthetic. It had all sorts of elements around it. And then there's one thing that I haven't even started talking about yet that I'm going to get to in the last 2 minutes that I have here, which is going to be the manual. Like, if we, like, these days, manuals are becoming big again because of games like Tunic, as well as just people generally enjoying having physical copies of things again. So let's take a look at what the physical copy of Cubivore looks like here. So, okay. Oh. And someone's paused backward because I can't actually see. Okay, so oh, I need to actually zoom my camera in a little bit too here. Come on. There we go. Okay. So this is the actual copy of Cubivore. These go on eBay right now for like stupid amounts of cash, and I don't know why. Like I saw one on there for $750, and someone else was selling the disc for like 19. So I don't know why. I actually had I mean, I bought this game when it came out in 2003 just because it was so weird. And I never throw anything away, so I still have my copy. And you know who else doesn't like to throw things away? The game historians at ROMchip. Imagine that I'm showing the donate thing right now because I can't actually reach my VR controller. But go donate to ROMchip. Donate.romchip.org. So anyways, let's open this up and take a look at the... oh, you didn't see that. Let's take a look at the... this, because this instruction book right here, this is wild. This is ridiculous. Let's see, can I actually zoom in a little bit more so everyone can see it? I'm going to try not to go over in Phil's time here, but I am going over into Phil's time here. I'm sorry, Phil. I just want to show people here real quick the amount of design that went not only into this game, not only into the development, but just into this, because like the manual, like a whole page of that really weird writing to start the game. And then, I mean, just tons of, and you get like all of your usual game instruction stuff, which is really cool. But the part that like I'm considering like maybe, and like here you go, you're hunting and being hunted and all, because like this was 2003. We didn't have the internet. We didn't have we didn't have game facts. We didn't have any information at all, actually. We still called each other over telegraphs and everything else. So you really needed the game menu. Okay, but this right here, this did not need to go this hard. What the hell? What like, whose idea was it? We're like, yeah, you know what? We need cutaways of the organs. That's so cool. Like I would kill for an actual like full-size poster framed copy of this. Like this looks like they're like, yeah, let's just call up Mark Ryden and see what he's doing. He needs to draw some cubes. Like they even go into like the really weird like meat. This can be a leg, another limb, or even a tail. The function of a meat flap depends on where it is connected. The movement of the flap acts like a pump to circulate blood throughout the body in place of a heart. Someone had to think about this. Someone actually, oh God, I love this game so much. So anyways, this has been Cubivore. There's like one more graphic back here. There's like one more drawing that's like really cool where it shows like here's understanding all of like the different forms that you can mutate into, and oh come on, where is it? Nope, next one. Okay, next one. Oh yeah. So like look at that thing. Look at that. Like that's like a fully kitted out, like what it's actually supposed to look like. In the game, it's all cute and stuff, but then like you actually look it up in the manual and it's like, wait, I'm playing this? That rules. So finally, to finish off, I will turn to the last page because in the back, all the way in the back, there was blind boxes for these things. There was actual gotcha for these. You can buy them on eBay. They are extremely expensive. Like the one that I wanted that I found is around $200. But you know what? It might be $200 very well spent, but not as good as $200 spent on donating to ROMchip. Donate.romchip.org, because I'm running out of time and I can't really pitch it very much more. Anyways, that is it for me. I have lost a VR controller somewhere. Oh, there it is. I am going to go back here. Okay. I just want to say thank you so much for the ROMchip people, Lane, Dave, everyone else for having me on, and for our continued wonderful discussions of game history. Thanks to everyone else that showed up for the stream. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you gave some money while I was on. But you don't have to stop giving money just because I'm not going to be on anymore. The guy that's on next is going to be working real hard with a real big controller to entertain you. Actually, I'm realizing I haven't actually been called off yet, so I can just keep talking until. Go for it. Go for it.
Am I on, guys? Cody, what's going on?
Oh no! There we go.
Hey, there I am. qdot. That was a wild time. Thank you for the. I mean, yeah. First of all, let me say, so beautiful to know more about your aspirational history of wanting to be a cube. It's so I want that for you, and I feel much closer to you now. Okay.
Oh, thank you so much.
Beautiful work. Thanks to you, we raised from the chat $6,129.69. I think we were just like $55 short of the 600 cutoff, which we will appreciate so much. So we are at like 88% of our 7K goal, and then once we get your match, we're going to be really, really close to hitting our 7K 1 tier. Thank you. Oh wow, we're getting you've turned into a cube. Oh, that's what's going on. All right.
I was I was trying to actually turn into a cube here.
Big cube. Big cube.
The problem is there is some okay, well, this is not working out the way I hoped.
It's okay. You know what?
I was trying to be aspirational here, and there we go. Okay, there. Yeah. Okay. Now we're good. Now we're good.
Yeah. Okay. I want to thank you so much for being a supporter of ROMchip. This was an absolute blast. qdot, you fucking rule. I can say that on the internet, right? And I'm gonna let you go.